Unprecedented numbers of Australians are being asked to work from home this week as the nation does its best to slow the spread of coronavirus.
So is your home office prepared for the event you may need to work from home? Here with some tips and advice is Today Tech expert Trevor Long. Trev, where are you this morning?
Well, I just didn't think I needed to come into the studio. I thought I could work from home as well. That seems a logical solution to this whole problem. But no, I'm actually right here in the studio, Karl. It's all good. But,
hey, whoa! How did that happen?
The wonders of FaceTime, the wonders of high-quality audio. But, yeah, this is the reality for a lot of people. Let's turn that off. Hang up on the FaceTime call.
You didn't think this through very well, did you?
No, it wasn't thought through at all. Hang up.
Well, there's like two Trevors in my head.
Just hung up on the directors. I hope they're OK with that.
Obviously, there are some basics here that we need. You need good Wi-Fi, a good internet connection at home to start with.
And I think that's really important. So you might have the best internet coming into your home, but that little desk you set up in the corner of the house has terrible internet. And these are the kind of things you need to look at. So these are a new Wi-Fi network for your home. So you keep your existing modem from your internet provider, but these solutions, this is Netgear, Orbi, Linksys, Vlop, they're basically like corporate Wi-Fi networks for your home, and they give you the right speed throughout your whole home, every corner, and then there's no complaints about where you're working and where the kids are if they're at home as well.
Yeah.
Is it pretty easy to work from home?
Look, I think it is. And look, the telcos have just announced a whole range of measures that I think we should give credit to them for. Extra data for all mobile customers on Optus, Vodafone and Telstra. So you're getting extra data automatically. You don't have to do anything. Just over the next month, they're going to just give us all extra data on our mobile phones.
So this is in response to coronavirus?
This is in response to coronavirus. Telstra have announced unlimited data for people on their home broadband. So if you've got the NBN or cable with them, unlimited data. And there's even little companies like Aussie Broadband unmetering, so they're not going to count your data during the day. So I think it's going to be easy for us all because some of those things are our concerns. Can I work from home? Do I have enough internet? Will the internet cope? And that's the biggest question I've got over the last week. Will the internet cope with all these people working from home? At night, with everyone on Stan and Netflix and Disney, the streaming is extreme. And the work from home will not be anything like that. So we're ready for the peak. In Italy, the peak was 26% higher in the daytime. We're ready for that. There's not going to be any problems with our internet.
The way things are going, I mean, we'll be doing the show from home at some point, maybe in the next months. We don't know. What sort of setup do people need at home in terms of making everything comfortable and everything also clean?
So I think this is a kind of typical solution. You might have a laptop. Now, if you've already got a computer at home, great, you might use that in its existing solution, but you might bring a laptop from work. You might have a laptop you use dedicated for your work. You need to set aside a dedicated workspace. You need to say, this, kids, husband, wife, this is where I'm working. So when I'm here, I'm at work, OK? You need to kind of create those boundaries. Technology-wise, you know, you should try and have an external monitor for a laptop. So I've just hooked this monitor up here to this laptop so that it's sitting better. You shouldn't be looking down. You buy a monitor like this from all the big retailers and it just plugs into your laptop and automatically the screen will come up for you.
What does that cost?
You can get a monitor from $200 up to $1,000. This one here's a fancy space monitor from Samsung, but you don't need that. You can just get a bog standard cheap monitor, no problems at all.
Just back onto the internet and the demand.
Yep.
If it comes to pass that we've got kids at home, the kids are streaming, effectively lessons from their school, which could happen, and you've got all that happening with your own workspace.
Yep.
Will it be able to cope with that sort of demand, the internet?
Look, I think it will, because most of the people I spoke to in the last 24 hours say that video conferencing, so if you're video conferencing with work, if your kids are doing any sort of video, is way less data intensive than Netflix and Stan.
Right.
So actually the streaming of content is the biggest challenge. So, you know, if you don't have a fast internet, you need to have that conversation with your family. I'm working. Now is your book time or your quiz time or whatever it might be. You can stream later when I'm not doing video calls and stuff like that.
So a lot times for different tasks during the course of a day.
Spot on.
Really important.
Yeah,
so if you're going to stream, do that at some other point, but we're working during the day doing schoolwork.
And that works for kids and adults. If you're working from home for the first time, you'll realise you want to get up in your pyjamas and you'll stay in pyjamas all day. It doesn't work like that. You don't get the motivation to work. You need to set times. You need to do essentially your normal routine. You need to try and follow. So things like video calls, right? A lot of people haven't made a video call. So, FaceTime call like that, a lot of people don't use them. Use them to get that eye-to-eye contact with your colleagues. Set aside time to have those meetings. I use a headset whenever I'm making phone calls because then I don't feel like I'm holding the phone up to my ear all day. These are little things you can get. Get an external keyboard. Get a mouse for your laptop so that you've got a bit more comfort.
What about iPads?
Look, an iPad is a great solution for people who are doing basic things, you know, checking your emails, doing some real basic document composing. I don't think it's yet a laptop replacement, so I think a lot of people will hit boundaries to the amount of work that they can do on an iPad. But if an iPad is one of your tools at home, there will be great ways you can make use of it through things like email and just checking your documents.
If you had a keyboard attached to it, I mean, it can pretty much do everything that a computer
can do. It can do it, but what I find, and I love the iPad, but I find I don't get as much done on an iPad because it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't work the same. Just not all the apps are there. A lot of people's workplaces, the things that they use, the things they need to connect into, won't be available on an iPad. So there's a lot of issues like that as well for people that mean that it might not be the perfect solution. So you need to talk to your workplace about what is going to technically work for your workplace and you.
You know what I like out of everything you're saying there is that, you know, because the reality will be that kids and parents will be at home at some stage, is to treat it like a work day.
Yeah.
Is to get up, have breakfast and stick to that routine. I think that's really important.
And talk to your kids about that too. The kids need to know that you're working and, you know,
and they're in school.
You've got to set boundaries. When Dad's at the desk, kids, you know, I need you to do your thing. I'm busy. When I'm on the phone, please don't interrupt. This is work. You've got to create those boundaries. Kids have got to understand this is challenging times, and we've got to work out how to work with it at home.